Don't ever lie about where you are.
Also, I would get to tell a story about Abbott that we don't all get to appreciate, and I'm excited to share that. Real quick, before I get into that, people ask me all the time, why run for Texas Railroad Commissioner? It is because when we talk about opportunity, none of that opportunity is as strong as we... Please help me welcome Greg Abbott.
Good morning. Good morning. Is there a better way to start a day in Texas than in a barbecue restaurant? Is there a better way to start a day in Texas than going out and voting early to keep Texas red? I want to thank Ryan Sitton for his introduction, but also for his upcoming service on the Texas Railroad Commission. We have shown that Texas can become energy independent if we get the federal government off of our backs and let us produce. Ryan Sitton will help us do just that. Ryan has pointed out something that I've been spending the last few years on, my special project, and that is, as your Attorney General, I have been fighting back against an overreaching federal government that's trying to run too much of your lives and take too much of your money. That is why I have sued Barack Obama 30 times now. One of those lawsuits was that lawsuit Ryan talked about, and that is that lawsuit challenging Obamacare. I challenged Obamacare because it was an unprecedented overreach of the United States Constitution, but also because of what it did to our healthcare system. I got to tell you, there is no one I've seen impacted more because of Obamacare than the healthcare access for women, and the way that doctors come between the bureaucrats come between the doctor-patient relationship. It's time for us to continue our fight against Obamacare and get rid of bureaucrats and allow doctors and patients to make healthcare decisions in the United States of America. Well, also, as your Attorney General, I've elevated the Texas child support system to be ranked #1 in the nation. And I successfully fought to defend the Ten Commandments monument on the Texas Capitol grounds, and we won. I've gotten involved in another fight recently, the fight in Houston, Texas. Where the mayor is using the power of the government to try to force pastors to turn over their sermons. There is a reason why this country was founded. There's a reason why the First Amendment was added to the United States Constitution, and that is because we believe in freedom of religion, and that means government cannot take pastors' faith. We also had a big victory last Saturday to ensure the integrity of the elections by ensuring that voter ID is going to be allowed. Let me tell you something. Voter fraud is real. It must be stopped, and I will continue to fight for voter identification to ensure the integrity of elections here in the great state of Texas. Well, now I'm ready to change my gaze. Now I'm ready to run to fight for the future of Texas as the next governor of the Lone Star State. We need to understand what is at risk. We need to understand the stakes, because my opponent poses a very different vision for the future of the state. What people in this room need to realize, as much as anything else I say today, is the power of the organization that my opponent has put together. Barack Obama's national field director has helped her organize votes here in Montgomery County, in Harris County, and across the state of Texas. Barack Obama's national pollster is helping her. Barack Obama's national finance director, Barack Obama's deputy campaign manager, and even Harry Reid's spokesperson is working for her. And we've seen the way that her policies echo exactly what Barack Obama has stood for. We've seen the way that she has voted to raise taxes, even on seniors. We've seen the way that she has increased spending and wants to impose heavy-handed regulations that will crush jobs, especially in our growing energy sector. She's voted to restrict Second Amendment rights and said that she would happily sign into law more restrictions on guns in Texas. And she even voted to remove God from the Pledge of Allegiance. Well, I gotta tell you, we cannot allow the next 4 years in Texas to look like the last 6 years under Barack Obama. We must win this election. With me as governor, we will keep Texas going in the right direction. I will keep Texas #1 in the nation for creating jobs. I can look around the room today and I can see the room is populated more by women than by men. And I bet some of you are part of what I'm about to say, and that is Texas is proudly home to more than 737,000 women-owned businesses. Second best in the nation. Texas ranks #2 in the nation for women-owned businesses. Under my administration, we will become #1 in the nation for women-owned businesses. We will build the roads and the water projects we need to keep Texas growing, including making it easier to travel on I-45, on 610. And I will do what Barack Obama and the federal government have failed to do. I will secure our border. I will also ensure that we improve the education system for the next generation. You know, oftentimes during my remarks, I like to ask whether or not we have anyone in the room who has ever worn the uniform of the United States military. If you have, would you please raise your hand? Thank you very much for your service. The reason why we fight is to uphold the freedom that those servicemen and women fought for. But I also like to ask if there's anyone in the room who is currently or formerly an educator here in Texas. Please wave your hand. Thank you for helping to educate. My wife is a former educator, a former teacher and principal, and we've seen firsthand the way that education can transform the lives of children to be able to achieve things their parents couldn't even dream of. And I have a lot of detailed ways in which we will improve education, including returning genuine local control to the school system. And I can assure you that we will prevent Common Core from hijacking our education system. But my vision for Texas is so much bigger. The way I see it, Texas is #1 in the nation for creating jobs. We're #1 in the nation for energy production. We're #1 in the nation for exports. We're #1 in the nation for farms. The time has come to add another #1 ranking. Texas must become #1 in the nation for educating our children. I will help us achieve that goal. But you know what? What does it take to achieve all those things? Doesn't take speeches. It doesn't take commercials. It doesn't take these signs you see out on the street. It takes one thing, and that is votes. We need your votes. How many of you have already voted early? Very good. Now, here's what we need you to do. For those of you who have not voted early, we need you to go vote today. Don't put it off till tomorrow. Don't wait until Election Day. Election Day is happening right now, today. There are multiple locations across the county that you can go to where you can ensure that it's so easy to vote. In fact, the lines will be shorter today than they will be on Election Day. So just consider me to be a helpful advisor to save you time. But here's what we really need. And I cannot be more serious about this. I say this to you with the greatest depth of sincerity and urgency. As we gather today, Barack Obama operatives are organizing across the state of Texas to turn out their vote. You have too much of your lives and your future at stake. We need your help to help us turn out our vote. In addition to you casting a vote, I need every single person in this room to take personal responsibility for getting 5 people to go out to vote. That doesn't mean calling 5 people or emailing 5 people. It means picking out 5 people that you will ensure go vote in this election. If we do that together, we will keep Texas the best state in the United States of America. Thank you all so much. God bless you all, and may God continue to bless the great state of Texas. Good. That's exactly what we need.
I tweet you all the time.
All hands on deck.
Yes, sir, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you. John, good to see you. Like your shirt. Thank you so very much. I was at the Kingwood meeting out here. I haven't. Well, yeah, I'm voting on Thursday morning. I want my daughter to be able to go with me. Here we go.
You need to move. Let me move back.
There you go. Sure. Like your phone cover.
Show this to everybody in the country.
Please do. You had a call coming in.
Thanks for being here.
So y'all have the right amendment?
Yeah,
Thank you.
nice to see you. Oh, that turned out. I mean, there's
Can I take one of mine?
well, I get the regular. No, I'm not. Well, neither is Wally.
Minutes?
Mr. Abbott, what is the biggest hurdle in this campaign right now?
The biggest hurdle is making sure we turn our voters out. And that's exactly why I'm here in Montgomery County. I want everyone in Montgomery County to turn out and vote.
What about water issues? We're going to look at basically the larger demands here in the Houston area. You're looking Central Texas, Lake Travis, down 60-some feet right now, nothing in there. What do you look for in the future in water?
With all the jobs we have created in this state, we have a growing population that is tapping into our water supplies even more. We need to work at a regional level to use new innovations, new technology to ensure that we're going to create the water supplies we need for a growing state.
Yeah, gas prices are starting to drop a little bit. Some of the oil companies start to look at this, how it affects the oils. We don't want to go back to what we did in '85 and drop back down. What do you look for in the future with the oil field and how it's going right now?
Texas has shown through innovation that we can tap into new ways of producing energy. And I think we will continue to do that. One way that we do that is by ensuring that we reduce the regulations that the EPA and federal government want to impose, and that allows us to become more energy independent.
Well, you got just a few weeks before election now. What are you going to be doing for the next couple of weeks? How is it? What kind of campaign trail? What are you looking at?
I am going to 3 communities a day for the remainder of the campaign to get our message out, to show the contrast between the two candidates. My opponent stands for Barack Obama's big government. I stand for the liberty and small government and low taxes that Texas has always embraced. I need to make sure that everyone across the entire state understands the huge contrast in this race and the importance of keeping Texas, Texas.
Ms. McKinn, what do you think about Greg Abbott coming to your store here and your business?
Well, I think it's great. I think it's historic, so I'd like to be part of it.
Most of the candidates that have won elections have made this a pit stop every time.
Yeah, that's great. We like to run with the winners. So.
Okay, sir. First of all, your name?
Dr. Wally Wilkinson.
Doctor, you're part of the. Give me your title.
I'm the Montgomery County Republican Chairman.
What do you think of Greg Abbott coming to Conroe
Well,
today?
I've been a fan of Greg Abbott for many, many years, back when he was on the Supreme Court of Texas. So I've been in Montgomery County since 1958, when there were hardly any Republicans, at least, that would admit it.
What have you seen in the campaigns over the past years? I mean, the past, say, 15, 20 years or more?
Well, I see the Republican movement growing by the day in this county and in the state of Texas. I think that we're going to win this election.